So welcome to the August 2025 Amplify Your Research session. This one is about how to create a member account. It's an optional account, it's not required. And if you do create an account, the extra features that you're able to use once you have that account. So first things first, if you're not familiar with the Arizona Memory Project, you can go get to the homepage using this URL, azmemory@azlibrary.gov. And if you just enter Arizona Memory Project into an internet browser, it should be one of the first results that come up, and that'll get you to the same place. So here's the homepage. Okay, there's a couple different places where you can log in or create an account. Over here, to the left, and then over here. When you're not logged into an account, it'll say welcome guest or log in. So if you want to register for an account, you can click either of these. It'll work. So when you register for the first time, if you do not already have an account, you'll enter a name. It could be any whatever name that you'd like, and then whatever email address that you'd like to enter. So these are going to be your login credentials. Note here that it is not automatically created. I need to go and manually approve the registration. It's an anti-spam mechanism that's built into the website. So that way, we don't have sort of a bunch of bots trying to create, thousands of accounts and things like that. So notice here the registrations are usually checked within 1 to 2 business days. Please note that they're not checked on weekends or holidays. So basically during business hours, I'll be here to check on these. So I get an email notification saying that someone has registered, and that tells me I can go in, check the credentials, authorize the account. So it's not automatic. It does need to be manually approved on the back end by me. But as long as it's a business day, not a holiday or something, or after hours, I usually pick those up pretty fast. And then you'll get an email notification to your email account that you entered here. And that will that'll let you know that you've got a temporary password. So I'll show you what that looks like on this side. So I've created an account that I can use for this purpose. All right, so once you're logged in, it'll change welcome guest to whatever your login name was, and then a logout to let you know that you're logged in. You'll notice over here, we'll go over to this section in a little bit, but you've unlocked 2 different things, my profile, my collection. So in the my profile section over here, it's got your login credentials that you used to log in for the first time. And you can change any of these as you want. So you can change your name if you get a new email address or you just want to change which one is used. And you can also change your password. So a note on passwords: when you register for an account, a random password will be generated. So I don't know what it is. We don't have it stored anywhere on the back end. You need to make sure that you're hanging on to your temporary password long enough to log in for the first time. So if you lose your password, forget it. There's no way to really recover it. If you do lose your password, can't remember to get in, you can contact me. And I'll show you how to contact me for anything related to the memory project. It happens to be this email address. But you can just let me know, hey, I forgot my password. I need a new one. And then basically I'll temporarily deactivate your account, reactivate it to send a new temporary password, and then you can use that one to log in. But if you do remember your password and you ever want to change it, you can also do that here. So again, that's under the My Profile. So you can change your password, you can change your name, change your email address. Other things over here, we'll get to those as far as what you'll be able to do with a member account. So I'll put a pin on that for now. Okay. And the other thing that opens up is my collection. So when I show you what that looks like, you'll be able to bookmark items so that they come over here in the special section where you can better organize items that you're interested in. Before we get into there, I want to show you so this is being recorded, but if you ever need just another reference for how to create a member account, even if you're not logged in, this will show up over here under More, and this panel will be available on any page on the memory project. So click More using this site research guide. Click on that. That'll take you to the Arizona Memory Project Research Guide, which is a how to use manual, essentially. What all these buttons do, what will happen if I click this. We have a page on creating a member account. So this tells you more information about why you would want to create a member account in the first place, and then basically the procedures with screenshots showing you how to do it. So you can just go through there, and it tells you, again, you can go to your My Profile, change all your credentials, all the things that we talked about. So these are instructions for how to create a member account in the first place. So you can always go there. And this is just a public page, so you can always get there at any time. Okay, so let's just run a search. So came over here to search. So let's say you are interested in the Grand Canyon. Not going to worry about these. We have other AMPlify sessions that teach you all about how to use all the different search functions. Those are recorded. They're also in the research guide. But for now, Grand Canyon, just run a very generic search. Okay, bunch of stuff. There's one thing that you can do from this page. You can select specific items. So those first three. You can also check everything on the page. I believe it's limited to 24 items per page. So you can uncheck all. So for anything that's selected, you can click My Collections and it'll automatically add everything on this page. So all 24 checked items to your My Collection. So I don't want that many, but I'm going to pick just a handful for now. 1, 2, 3. Click My Collections. Your collection has been updated. Okay. Tell it okay. Come over to My Collection, and those items that I picked are now over here. And the way it'll display is the ones on the top are most recent. So the most recent item that you bookmarked will appear on the top over here. We can go back a page. Maybe you forgot one and say, oh, okay, I want that one too. My Collection. Tell it okay. Back to My Collection. And there you can see it's on the top. So these are the search results page. These are good for adding multiple items to your collection or My Collection at the same time. If you are interested in just one thing, or if you just come across an item like this, every individual item has an Add to My Collection button on the left-hand side under Tools. So the page we were on previously was the search results, which gives you everything that the site found related to your search. But once you click into an individual item, all items have this Add to My Collection button on the left. So all I have to do is click that, add it to your collection, come back to My Collection, and there it is. So when it shows up over here, all the titles are linked, so that way you can click yourself straight into the item that you want to look at. If it's already in your collection, this won't highlight gold, but if you click it, it'll tell you already in your collection. So that way, at least it tells you it's not going to add duplicates, or you're not going to wind up with a bunch of the same ones added to your collection. It knows that it's already in your collection. If you're interested in more than one item from the same topic, so for example, on that search results page, we had 417 pages, or more than 417 items. There was 10,000 items worth of the Grand Canyon. Very broad subject. Okay, you don't want to be really bookmarking all of those pages, hundreds of pages. So one thing that you can also do is look to the metadata over here for linked to. So I'll use a couple of examples. Say, for example, you're interested in the lantern slide collection. So here's a collection of 3,259 things. You don't want to individually bookmark all of those 24 at a time or one by one. You don't want to do that. You shouldn't have to. So you can add the entire collection to my collection. And if you're interested in the Grand Canyon National Park, so you want to look into Grand Canyon things, you found a lot of photos, you're getting overwhelmed with how many you want to add to your collection. You can see that any Grand Canyon item is linked to Grand Canyon National Park as a place. So this page functions as a landing place or a hub for all items in the memory project related to the Grand Canyon. So now, instead of trying to figure out how to, add all of these items to your collection, just add the entire Grand Canyon National Park place page to your collection. And this one happened to already be in there. So back to my collection, you can see that it added these things. So if you also realize that, I already added Grand Canyon National Park, to my collection, I don't need all these individual ones anymore, then you can easily just tell it, delete it. That'll remove it from your collection. Gonna refresh. And maybe you want to keep a handful of favorites so you don't have to, click into here and then go find it again. It's thinking, so let's give it a chance to do that. This is taking longer than it should. Apologies for that. Let's see if I can, let me just get out of here. Go back in. There we go. Okay. So you can see over here that I've organized items further. So this is just going to be a running list. If you added 100 items, it's just going to be one long list of 100 things. So if you've got a bunch of items that are related to different topics and you want to keep track of those, you can always start a new collection. So I've started one over here called Grand Canyon Research. Maybe that's what you're researching. So you can add the Grand Canyon National Park. Okay. But maybe you still got a few favorites. So we'll just pick these two. You can uncheck all. So if you want to add everything, you can do that. But let's say you'd only want these two in particular. You can see the drop down here, add to Grand Canyon Research, which is the name of your organized collection. Then you can do add checked items to collection, and there they show up over here. And as they're adding more collections over here, you can collapse these so that way you'll get a bunch underneath and it won't just make you scroll forever. So if you get one of these pretty far populated, you can always collapse it. And maybe you realize that, I don't need this one anymore. I don't need it. Let that refresh. Hopefully this doesn't think forever, but we can always come back again if we need to. Yeah, looks like we're gonna have to do that. Yeah, there it goes. A couple other buttons over here. When you hover over it, it will tell you what that button will do. So if you want to share this, if you're working on this research with a collaborator or a team, you can share your personal collection over here with anybody via email. You can rename it. So if you realize that it's like, okay, it's more than just Grand Canyon Research. It could be change it to something else. That works. And if you don't want this collection anymore, you can delete that as well. So it'll give you a little warning. It doesn't delete items from your bookmarks over on the left, just the collection that you've organized them into. So I know sometimes it's kind of, they're calling this my collection and this is start a new collection. So just to be clear, this my collection section, the section as a whole really means bookmarks. These are items you've bookmarked, and then a collection within your bookmarks further organizes them from basically a list of single items to folders, essentially. If you want to start a new one, because you're doing a lot of research or you're changing gears, you can start a new one, clicking start a new collection. give it a name, just call it Lantern Slides. Click create. We'll open it up over here. You can come over here, check your Lantern Slide collection. By default, this is going to update to the most recent collection you created, but if you can always change it to something else. But for this one, we want Lantern Slides. We've checked the Lantern Slide collection, add check items to collection, and there it goes. And it behaves exactly the same way as anything else you've created. All the same buttons, share it, rename it, delete. Yeah, so those are ways that you can keep all of your different research items organized. The advantage over here, if you've used AMP before, you may have noticed there's a My History. This is everything that I've looked at since I logged in. This is session specific. So once you close your browser or log out, this goes away. This is persistent. So as long as you're logged in as you, then you can come back 3 years later. This will still be here for you. So My History is temporary. It only really, I think it's after the end of each day or session, it closes. It doesn't remember, but this stays here as long as you have an active account. So those are all the different ways that you can organize your thoughts, keep items in your bookmarks. And I believe that is more or less kind of all you really need to know. There's a lot of other things about searching and finding these things in the first place, but these are the main benefits to having an account, creating a member account. So I'll note that you don't need to create an account to unlock access to any AMP items. These aren't, the member account doesn't give you more access to things, or you can't see it unless you create an account. The member account really is just to help you stay organized. Let me see, not that one. There we go. Okay. The other thing you can do, you can always contact us and say, hey, I've got an idea, I think I noticed that there's some metadata that was wrong. How do I do that? Or how do I get it fixed? Or this photo says it's from Prescott, but it's actually Tucson. That's wrong. How do we do that? Okay, so you can make metadata edits. So actually, let me get back into an item for the Grand Canyon. Yeah. So let's say you're researching something and you find out that for whatever reason, let's just say that this is, I don't know, Hoover Dam. Okay, clearly wrong. This is the Grand Canyon. This little icon over here, so a pencil icon, as long as you're logged in, you can suggest an edit. So these are the fields or metadata fields. So the data that we've opened up to patrons to let us know, hey, this is wrong. So maybe you notice it's a Grand Canyon, but hey, it's the wrong year. Could be an error where it says this is Yavapai County, it's clearly Coconino, things like that. So you can click that icon, update it. So this doesn't actually update things in real time. What it does is it sends me a notification saying, hey, we've got a user who is making a suggested change to this item. It gives me a link to the item. It shows me what's there currently, and it shows me what you suggested. And then I vet it and just kind of make sure it's like, yep, nope, clearly, yep, it says, Yavapai County, it's Coconino. You can also add some comments. If what patrons have done before is just kind of like, oh, hey, like I used to live there. I can tell you for a fact that this is not, this photo is not where it says it is, things like that. So yeah, add any kind of notes you want there. If you want a notification when it's actioned, which means either it was approved or denied or anything else, you can select to be notified. You can also uncheck this, and then I'll make a change, leave it alone, and it just won't send you an email notification. If you have it bookmarked and you refresh it later, then you might notice a change. But yeah, that's up to you. And then it'll save, then it gives me a notification and lets me know. So yeah, so this is kind of an extra thing. So if you expect to be doing a lot of research and you like the idea of being able to have a more of a direct line or just a simpler way to get in touch with us about fixing metadata, the other way is you email me and say, hey, I found this item on the memory project, I think this is wrong, and then you kind of have to spell it out a little bit more, like you have to say, oh, in this field, include the link in this field that says this, it really should say that. This is just kind of more of a streamlined, more direct way of letting me know that something ought to be looked at before a suggested change. So as long as you're logged in, you'll be able to do that for any item. Different fields are going to be a little bit different for each item. So we have images, documents, handwritten documents, maps. So all these fields are a little bit different because they're different types of items, but all the ones that we expect patrons would have access to the information, or they might know, like they might know who took a photo. In this case, it's an image, what the description is, when the photo was taken, where it's located, things like that. So we try to give patrons the tools that they would need to let us know that there's something that they can let us know about fixing it. So, and as always, we appreciate, when our users help us improve the site, because there's a lot of things in the memory project. It's been kind of, accumulating over 20 years. There's bound to be some stuff in there that, is not correct. So we're always happy to hear that, someone knows better than the metadata, because it tells us you're engaged, right? And that you're interested in the stuff that you're finding. Okay, so that's kind of it. A little bit shorter on this side, but we really just wanted to focus on kind of just this one thing, letting you know that one, creating a member account is an option, that it's optional. You do not have to create one. You're not missing out on any content. Nothing's being hidden from you unless you create one. And also just letting you know, but if you do choose to create one, it's really going to help you organize all of your favorite items, in any way that you want. So yeah, the Q&A should be open for anyone. If you've got any questions, we've got some time. So if you've got any questions kind of, broadly more related to kind of the Arizona Memory Project, how it works, what it's for, what kind of stuff is in it, that's good too. But yeah, so I'll leave it open to Q&A to see if anybody's got any questions about creating a member account. Okay. I don't see any yet. I'll note that a couple of links are being dropped in the chat. Oh, okay. Here's a question. Arrived late, will you be sending out any notes? So this will be recorded. It's being recorded, and there's a couple places that you'll be able to find it. The easiest place to find it is going to be, there should be a link coming in the chat. All of these AMPlify sessions are recorded and they're made available on the memory project. So yeah, check the chat. The AZ memory link ending in 26664. That's where all these sessions go, these recordings. So you can always go back and look for this recording and all previous recordings in the series over there. Also in the chat, we have 2 more Amplify Your Research sessions coming up, one for September, one for October. The next one, I believe, is about brand books, so cattle brands, how to sort of research using those. The main trick there is because a lot of the brands are symbols and you can't search a symbol. How do you find something you can't search for using a search box, like using a traditional like web search? And then the next one after that for October is research for power users, so people who are really deep diving into their research, whether they're an author writing a book, a journalist doing a story, things like that. So yeah, those links are in the chat. Okay, not seeing any other questions. I want to thank everybody for attending. I hope this is useful. I hope you make good use of my collection. section, creating member accounts, all that. I will point out that if you ever need to get in contact with me, you can send an email to azmemory@azlibrary.gov over here. When you're logged in as you, your credentials will pop up. That's why this shows this way. So yeah, azmemory@azlibrary.gov. If you need more general help about the library as a whole or other resources, you can call it this number. And you can also request an appointment for any research that you may need to do in building. We try to digitize as much as we can. Not everything can or will be digitized. So if you need to request an appointment for further research at the library on site, then you can also do that as well. But yeah, this is the main way to get in touch with me. Anything related to the memory project, I can take care of for you. Yeah, so thanks again for attending, everyone, and I hope you have a good time using the Arizona Memory Project. Thanks so much. Take care.